Hey, it's me, CYN, and I'm hanging out with Rob on Front Row Live.
I've been trying to get with you for the last, I don't know, year and a half.
Really?
And you've been quite busy every time you've been out here in LA. How are you?
Man, I'm doing fine. Thanks for sticking with it. I'm glad to be here finally.
Now, I feel like this show today at the Echo, you've been, telling your fans about it over and over again. Like, I feel like this day has taken so long to get here. So tell me about the prep that happened to get to today.
Well, it's been a lot of rehearsals. I got some new merch, really just thinking through everything that comes to getting a show together. I've got some surprises happening in the middle of the set. There's a lot that goes into preparing, even just for 45 minutes. And I've been collaborating with my team and managing time, and we're ready now.
I first heard about you through Only With You back in 2017. And, it's a different sound from what we hear today. Yeah. But yet it's still a masterpiece what you're, releasing, the tracks that you're releasing. Tell me about the transition from 2017 to today.
Well, I mean, I'm growing. I'm practicing every day.
Yeah.
I'm learning from a lot of different people. I'm collaborating with a lot of different people. And when you start to collaborate with different individuals, your sound kind of evolves. And I look for that. I love to recreate myself. And I'm about to release my debut EP this fall. And I'm already writing songs that aren't going to be on the EP that kind of sound a little different. So to me, it's just about growing. If I'm not like growing and moving and changing, then I don't really have any indication that I'm alive. So, yeah, I'm going to be one of those artists one day where they're like, can't you just do what you did before? And I'm going to be like, no, actually,
that's what keeps us on our toes. Like, we never know what you're going to release next.
Yeah, that's right. And neither do I, to be frank. But, I mean, just know my heart obviously goes into everything I do, and it always comes from me, and they're my words. And so, yeah, it's always very authentic.
Nice. Now, Holy Roller, the new single, is you collaborated with Matthias on this one as your producer. What was it like collaborating with him, and like what was it about him this time around that made you, so excited to work in the studio with him?
Matthias has a very specific attitude, I think, that shows in his melody choices and even his mixing choices, the way that he EQs certain elements of his production, like the way he EQs my vocal, the way he's mixing in the guitars, when he decides to stop something and then let it come back in is very specific of him. And I think that I can hear one of his songs and not realize it's him, but know it's him. Wow. But I also think there's a really great balance between what we do, where I'm quite feminine and girly and sassy. Can I swear on this?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
Bitchy. Whereas he, I think, provides this really nice, grounding, masculine element that's created such a great balance. And I really appreciate his contribution to my EP. And there's some songs that I'll be playing tonight that aren't out yet that Matthias and I have collaborated on, and they're really exciting and kind of surprising in some of the choices. Whereas like, they're just really not like any pop music being done right now. And I'm not saying that it's better, but it's definitely very individual.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you mentioned Matthias on this upcoming debut EP. Do we also listen to a little bit of Felix Snow on this record as well? Or is that for, another time?
No Felix Snow on this one. Maybe sometime in the future. But I do have another producer working on this record. His name is Lars Stallfors. Okay. He's very talented.
Sounds really familiar.
He worked on the Foster the People record that came out recently. And I mean, he did the St. Vincent record that won a Grammy recently. So he's a very talented guy, and I feel so thankful to be working with him. He's really brought... he's really just put my art on a pedestal and helped me kind of have a clear voice. Yeah.
Now, I know back in 2014, 2015, you kind of released, you self-released like an EP to say, how do you feel you have kind of evolved in the music industry or in your writing since releasing that EP?
Well, when you get out here in Hollywood and you're working with other songwriters who are signed, you kind of start to think more, how can I say, diligently about the songwriting. I'm not just hanging out on my couch, I'm at somebody's studio, and we're like taking the time and it's costing money now. So you can't help but to be a little bit more on, if you know what I mean, and conscious of the way that your business has to grow. But you know, like I said, I don't ever do anything that's not authentic, and I'm not thinking, oh, how can I like chart?
Right.
I'm just hoping that my business and my artistry can grow. Well, I can stay true to myself, crossing my fingers and hoping that can happen. But sorry, I feel like I'm like going into a whole nother thing here.
You're letting me know who you really are, so I really love that. So, you know, at the same time, it seems like you don't just focus on the writing process. You focus on the live show. You focus on your fans. You focus on, you know, your outfits. Like, how do you kind of balance everything to you know, to be able to keep your brand going every time?
Well, I mean, you just have to think about that authentic core, you know? Like, if it doesn't feel right, it's not right. And I mean, I really don't like to fuss over things. I like to make sure things are planned out. But I decided what I was going to wear an hour ago.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I don't want to think too hard about this. This is...
But it's crazy because I look at you and it doesn't seem like you just decided an hour ago. I feel like you've been planning it.
Aw, thank you. I mean, I think that as I continue to grow, I will have to be a little bit more like planning it. But I find that as soon as I start calculating, it just doesn't seem as authentic. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, as far as like juggling all of it, I have a lot of people that work with me and that are really passionate about the music as well. So they help me do those things. But it always just comes down to who I am and like what's going on. And because I think, I mean, I guess I would just like to offer a perspective that I think maybe a lot of other people can relate to, and to make sure that comes through in authentic light is everybody's goal.
Now back to this upcoming debut EP. Like, what do you feel challenged you the most in creating this EP?
Probably feeling confident. I know what other people are up to.
Yeah.
I know the really awesome music videos coming out, and often I feel like such a dork, and and I'm like, damn, like I hope I sound cool. I hope I sound confident, because I sometimes listen to my music before I fall asleep and I'm like, am I on the right track? So it's just kind of like really holding on to that magic I felt when I was writing the song, and but just like anybody, I can wonder if I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And so it's just really like staying confident and believing that even if I feel like I'm the only one out here, that maybe my voice is powerful.
Yeah. So as you mentioned, questioning yourself about if you're on the right track or not, has that happened to you where you actually noticed that you're not on the right track and you kind of corrected it? Like what did you kind of have to do in order to come back to the lane that you're trying to create?
Well, before I went on tour with Katy Perry last year, I was writing some music that I thought there was like a hint of like, oh, they're gonna like this. I know that people are gonna like this. And now I just think I'm actually not even thinking along those lines. I'm just kind of using myself as a reference point, and the other collaborators in a room. And after that tour with Katy, when I was on stage in front of like 10,000 people, I was like, what am I only need to please myself.
Yeah.
Like, this needs to make my heart race, and then we can go from there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I had to backtrack and really ask myself, if I'm doing it for the right reasons, or if I'm writing or saying words for the right reasons.
Right. I respect that a lot. I feel like a lot of artists, not just artists, just people in general, they start to do the career, the passion that they, when they were younger, they've always dreamed of. And then they start seeing money, they start seeing success, and then they forget the reasons why they're doing it. So it's really cool that you're able to figure it out yourself and, humble yourself once, you start sticking out.
Definitely. Like I said, I want to always be learning. I don't believe in a way in figuring it out. I don't think there's a way to figure out songwriting. It's kind of just like you get in this really sweet spot of your creativity, and then maybe you've kind of figured it out. But like, still, trends change, culture changes, and you're not in it anymore. So it's just kind of I don't know, feeling it and being authentic. And it sounds really cheesy, but I mean, that's my formula. Fingers crossed.
So back to, with this EP, like, can fans expect it this fall, this or this year at all?
They can. And if it doesn't happen this year, I would just want to say sorry ahead of time. Like, I'll freak out too. Like, it better be this year. It's been 3 years that I've been developing my artistry. And yeah, so I'm just going to put it out there and say, yes, you can expect it.
So lastly, for those that are not familiar with this portion, is like, what is it about music that you decided to say, you know, hey, this is the career path that I want, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to get there?
Since I was a little girl, music has really spoken to me just in a really spiritual way. It's helped me heal through things I went through when I was younger. It's helped me become a better person. It's helped me understand myself more. So just because of those reasons alone, I mean, I was like, if this can be my job, like, I'll be so lucky. But, you know, I did graduate college with a very normal, regular degree in business. And I thought I was going to just be doing that, and after putting myself on the internet, I was discovered, and so now here we are.
Well, congratulations with that.
Thanks.
I look forward to this EP. I look forward to more music and catching your live show today. You guys be sure to check out CYN if you haven't already. Listen to her new single, Holy Roller. It's out now. Thanks for watching here on Front Row Live.